ZABoxingNation, where boxing lives, breathes, and breaks down. In today's episode, we go in depth on the all latest boxing news from October 3rd, 2025, including Devin "The Dream" Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. in Saudi Arabia this November, Zhanibek versus Erislandy Lara, Lamont Roach Jr. versus Pitbull Cruz, and Naoya the Monster Inoue versus David Picasso. And plus, your favorite segment on this day in boxing history. Let's break this all down. Devin "The Dream" Haney, who is 32 wins, 0 losses, and 15 big wins coming by way of knockout, versus Brian Norman Jr., who is 28 wins, 0 losses, and 22 big wins coming by way of knockout. They will both be headlining in November from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Devin "The Dream" Haney is no stranger to the spotlight. The former undisputed lightweight champion who then moved up and conquered at super lightweight. He's one of the slickest technicians in boxing today with elite defensive skills, a pinpoint jab, and composure beyond his years. Devin "The Dream" Haney already has a resume stacked with names like Vasil Hitek Lomachenko, George Kambosos twice. He went into his backyard and beat him. Regis Prograis and Ryan Garcia.
Right here.
Brian Norman Jr., meanwhile, is one of the most dangerous rising contenders in the welterweight mix. He hit Jin Sasaki so hard he lost his memory for nearly a month. And at just 24 years old, Brian Norman Jr. has made his reputation on toughness, fast hands, and surprising pop with both hands. While he doesn't yet have the star power of Devin "The Dream" Haney, what he does have is the hunger. Fighters like Brian Norman Jr. often come in with nothing to lose and everything to gain, and that's what makes him dangerous. For Devin "The Dream" Haney, he has to use his elite jab and his distance control. He has to use his high ring IQ and adaptability. For Devin "The Dream" Haney, he has to use his jab. He has to control the distance. He has to use his ring IQ and adaptability. He has to also be extremely composed under pressure because Brian Norman Jr. could hit him with something very clean at some point, and he has to be able to keep his composure. If he doesn't, Brian Norman Jr. is going to jump right on him. I believe the weaknesses for Devin "The Dream" Haney in this fight as well could be that he lacks that one-punch knockout power. And he can get caught in exchanges if forced to fight on the inside. He has to keep this fight similar to the way that he had it against Jose Ramirez. I know that can be an extremely boring fight to watch, but understand that Brian Norman Jr. is extremely dangerous. Devin "The Dream" Haney is also one of the most composed guys under pressure. But Devin "The Dream" Haney's weaknesses can be that he lacks one-punch knockout power, and Brian Norman Jr. has that. Devin "The Dream" Haney can get caught in exchanges if he's forced to fight on the inside with this guy. Strengths for Brian Norman Jr. might be that he has the youth on his side. He has the energy and aggression. He has deceptive speed and volume punching ability. Can switch gears and throw punches in bunches. Brian Norman Jr. is a tremendous fighter. But the weaknesses for Brian Norman Jr. is his less experience on the world stage. Sometimes he gets a little bit too eager, leaving himself open to counters. What's at stake? For Devin "The Dream" Haney, it's about solidifying his pound-for-pound spot and showing that he can handle an undefeated, hungry challengers even as he continues moving up in weight. For Brian Norman Jr., this is the opportunity of a lifetime. Beat Devin "The Dream" Haney and you become a household name overnight. Let me know how you guys feel about this fight in the comments below. Devin "The Dream" Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Middleweight division finally has a fight with intrigue. Zhanibek, who is 17 wins, 0 losses, and 12 big wins coming by way of knockout, versus Erislandy Lara, who is 31 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws, and 19 big wins coming by way of knockout. Zhanibek, known as the Kazakh style, is an undefeated Kazakh southpaw who many consider one of the most avoided fighters in boxing. He's tall, rangy, sharp, with his counterpunching ability, and has gradually added more stopping power in his recent performances. Fighters like Andrade and Munguia didn't jump at the chance to face him, and there's a reason for that. Lara, the Cuban slickster, at 41 years old, Erislandy Lara has been there and done that. He fought Saul Canelo Alvarez to a razor-close decision. Schooled Austin Trout life and death with Jarrett Hurd. Known for his masterful movement, timing, and ring generalship, Erislandy Lara is one of the best defensive southpaws of this era. Zhanibek's path to victory in this fight, in my opinion, would be he has to use his youth, feints, and combination punching ability to force Lara into the ropes and break him down with steady pressure. Erislandy Lara's path to victories in this fight might be if he keeps the fight at his pace, frustrate Zhanibek with clean counters, and make the younger man chase him all night long. This fight is more than just youth versus experience. It's about the future of the middleweight division. If Zhanibek dominates Lara, he positions himself as the face of 160 pounds. And he could be potentially fighting Terrence Bud Crawford if Terrence comes back down after this accident. He could potentially be fighting Terrence Bud Crawford if he's successful against Erislandy Lara. But if Erislandy Lara can pull off one more masterclass, it'll shake up the division and extend his Hall of Fame case. Let me know what you guys think about this fight in the comments below. Zhanibek versus Erislandy Lara. Now let's head to 140-pound division, where Lamont Roach, who has 25 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 10 big wins coming by way of knockout, is set to face the Bulldog himself, Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull Cruz is 28 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 19 big wins coming by way of knockout. This fight is all about contrasting styles. Lamont Roach is a disciplined technician with a sharp jab, underrated timing, and patience in the ring. He's the type of fighter who prefers controlling distance, staying composed, and picking his shots carefully. Isaac Pitbull Cruz, on the other hand, is the exact opposite. He's one of boxing's most relentless pressure fighters. Every second of every round, he's in your chest, throwing hooks, ripping body shots, and looking for a knockout. He's earned his fan-favorite reputation by giving Gervonta Tank Davis one of the toughest fights of his career. For Lamont Roach Jr., he needs to take control of the pace with his jab, pivot constantly, and not allow Isaac Pitbull Cruz to trap him against the ropes. For Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he has to do what he does best: apply suffocating pressure, work the body, and make Lamont Roach Jr. fight when he doesn't want to. What's at stake for this fight, though? For Lamont Roach Jr., it's the chance to prove he belongs amongst the elite, and it wasn't just a floozy getting a draw against Gervonta Tank Davis. For Isaac Pitbull Cruz, a dominant win could set him up for another shot at a world title. Fans are guaranteed fireworks with this fight, because when Isaac Pitbull Cruz steps in the ring, the action is always nonstop. Let me know what you guys think about this fight in the comments below. Lamont Roach versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz. And now for your favorite segment on this day in boxing history. On October 3rd, 1998, a 21-year-old Floyd Money Mayweather announced himself to the boxing world by defeating Genaro Hernández to win the WBC Super Featherweight Championship. This was the moment where Floyd Money Mayweather transitioned from prospect to champion. His defensive genius, lightning reflexes, and sharp counterpunching ability were on full display. From there, the rest was history. Floyd Money Mayweather went 50-0, became a 5-division world champion, and the biggest pay-per-view star the sport has ever seen. This date marks the birth of Money Mayweather, a true legend in the sport of boxing. But that wraps up my breakdown for today. Devin the Dream Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. is official. Zhanibek faces Lara. Isaac Pitbull Cruz collides with Lamont Roach Jr. Plus, we honor Floyd Money Mayweather first world title win back in 1998. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss out on an update. But this is ZABoxingNation, where champions get analyzed and legends are made. And if you're new here, keep your hands up, and I'll catch you in the next one.